morning وليد. Morning وليد, can you hear me? وليد. عبد الرحمن وليد, can you hear me? عالية. حسن جودة. حسن رحيم. استنى. هيا. نوز. مريم. ليان. أسامة. جنة جودة. نورين. نسيت أسامة. ريان. ياسمين السقا. يوسف. and Yusuf out. Okay guys, how are you all doing? We have Muhammad Adil. Okay, this is Yasmin Said. Yasmin Said. Okay. For this week, we are doing grammar chapter 27, the last grammar chapter. You know this term. Remember that this term we have chapters 25, 26, and 27. Inshallah, in the grammar quiz, we'll do 25 only. We did 27 section 1 and 2 the day before yesterday. Yesterday, I uploaded 2 videos on chapter 27, sorry, sections 3 and 4. And today we're going to do section. Guys, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Mister.
Okay, thank you. So today we're going to do, we are going to do chapter 27. Can you see the screen now?
بغدادي في الويتنج روم.
I have 5 people, sorry. I was fixing something. بغدادي علي تدرس يحيى بغدادي علي تدرس and Yahya. Okay. And this is Yasin. Thank you very much for joining on time. Okay. So I'd like to remind you, okay, Tadrus, I admitted you. I'd like to remind you of the project. I posted a post the day before yesterday about the project. Again, choose any scene from the book Thief, from any movie you watched, from any book or novel you read, which you like, and make a comic strip, about 8 panels at least. And the deadline is next Thursday, 27th of May. Okay. About 12 people haven't joined our PISinter class yet. Please join as soon as possible and finish your project. It would take about half an hour, just 20 minutes, 30 minutes to finish it. Just any scene you remember, and make it into 8 panels or more. Dashes, parentheses, brackets, and hyphens. This does anyone have any question before I start, guys? Hassan Ruhaim, can you hear me? Hassan, I just want to make sure you hear me.
Yes, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Hassan. Hi. This section will present some of the less frequently used punctuation marks. You know, we have some more famous punctuation marks like the comma, the colon, the semicolon. Today, we're going to talk about dashes, parentheses, brackets, and hyphens. These punctuation marks should not be used indiscriminately. There are special rules for the use of each one of them, even though you may not be called upon to use them often. It's important to learn the rules that govern their use. First, dashes. The dash, as you know, a much stronger mark than a comma. The dash is stronger than a comma. We said that the colon, yesterday we said that the colon and the semicolon are stronger than the comma. This is Hassan Gouda. Okay. Right. It signals sudden break in the structure or thought of a sentence. So it marks or signals a sudden break in the sentence. A simple dramatic punctuation mark. The dash should not be used haphazardly in place of the comma and other separators. Overuse of the dash reduces its dramatic effect and indicates a lazy writer. So don't overuse it. One who has not mastered the rules of punctuation. If you use it very often, this means you are a lazy writer. There are several rules governing use of the dash, the first of which is the broadest. Use dashes to indicate an abrupt change of thought, a dramatic interrupting idea, or a summary statement. The following chart shows the three basic uses of the dash. Again, change of thought, interrupting ideas dramatically, or setting off a summary statement. And there are examples here. You can read them. Okay, so words such as all, these, those, this, and that will often be found at or near the beginning of a summary sentence preceded by a dash. Again, words like all, these, those, this, and that will be found near or at the beginning of the dash or the sentence or after the dash. Use dashes to set off a non-essential appositive. You know, we use commas to mark the appositive or modifier when it's long. Again, use dashes to set off non-essential appositive. You know, there are two types of appositives, essential and non-essential, or restrictive and non-restrictive. Use dashes to set off non-essential ones, which we can delete without affecting the meaning, or modifier when it's long, when it is already punctuated, or when you want to be dramatic. Although they are usually set off with commas, non-essential appositives and modifiers may also be set off with dashes. You know, it's usual to use commas to set them off, but it's okay to use dashes. Here we have an example. Two Japanese islands, Honshu and Hokkaido, were the group's destination. So we can put a comma here instead of the dashes, but we also can use the dashes instead of the comma. This is Ganna Tamer. Ganna, you're a little bit late. Ganna. Okay. Yesterday, I met three old neighbors from Osaka, Kenji, his brother, Nobu, and their friend, Shizu, and so on. So we have the dashes again. The dashes can be used to set appositives off, especially when they are non-essential, non-restrictive. Modifiers, Mount Fuji, which is called Fujiyama in Japanese, can also, we use the dashes here instead of the commas. We can put a comma here and a comma here. And this appositive is non-restrictive, non-essential. It can be deleted without affecting the meaning. So dashes may be used to set off one other special type of sentence interrupter, the parenthetical expression. You know, parentheses are brackets. Use dashes to set off a parenthetical expression when it is long, already punctuated, or especially dramatic. We have an example here, or two examples. The searing heat, it was 90 all last week, 90 Fahrenheit for sure. And on Monday and Tuesday of this week, it was over 100. So we have two dashes here. The sushi, have you ever seen such an elaborate presentation of food? Was an unusual taste experience. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Here we have an exercise. We'll do the first three sentences as usual. Uh, insert dashes where appropriate. Insert dashes where appropriate. Tokyo is Japan's most populous city. More than 18 million people inhabit it. This is the example. So we need one hyphen only. Where is the other, or the dash only? Where is the other? The other will not be put because this phrase is at the end of the sentence. Have your time, look at 1, 2, and 3, and put your hand up if you want to answer. Any answers? Guys, put your hands up, please, and be more active. I want someone to do number 1, number 2, number 3. Hello? Hello? Jannat Tamer, can you hear me? Jannat Tamer, there is a problem with her mic. Try to fix the problems with your mics, please. Ali Walid, Jannat Tamer, Kunuz. So Tadros, can you do number 1? Dad?
Yes, Mr.
Can you do number 1?
The history and culture of Japan, one could study it for days. It's unique and interesting.
We need two dashes.
Okay.
Where
Up before is
before is. Yeah, this is the first one or the second one?
the first.
No, this is the second.
Uh,
It is unique and interesting. We put one before is. Yes, this is the second one. Where should we put the first dash?
after Japan one.
After Japan. Thank you. So the history and culture of Japan, I could study it for days is da, da, da. Okay, thank you, Tadris. This is Kiara joining us. Kiara. Number 2. Does anyone want to answer? Number 2. Number 2. Be more active, guys. You'll have marks for this. Type. Abdurrahman Wali, do number 2, please. Abdurrahman Wali. Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman Walid. What's wrong with you, Walid? Okay, Yasmin. Yasmin Sa'a wants to answer number 2. Go ahead, Yasmin.
Where we will put a dash before land.
Before land or before great land?
Great.
Great, before great. Do we need another one?
No.
No, because this comes at the end of the sentence. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. Yasmin Sa'a. Okay. Number 3. Does anyone want to answer? Number 3, we need dashes, guys. Number 3. Okay, I have Ryan's hand put up. Okay, Ryan. Go ahead.
مستر
Yes.
معلش يا مستر، لما حضرتنا ده كنت في الحمام، حد بعت لي
وليد ماشي. اوكي وليد. No problem. Ryan.
أحل دي.
Yes, dash before according and after legend.
Okay, thank you very much. According to legend, surrounded by 2 dashes. Thank you, Ryan. So I have 3 names who answered. Yes, means Tadris and Ryan. Thank you all. Okay, pay attention, guys, and follow up, please. Let's move on to the next point, which is parentheses. They're used to enclose material in a sentence or a paragraph. Although commas are generally used for this purpose, parentheses are preferred in certain cases. Parentheses are the strongest separators a writer can use. Because of their strength, they should be used frequently. Remember that we said that dashes shouldn't be used frequently. If you use dashes frequently, you are a lazy writer. But here, parentheses should be used, infrequently also, okay? Infrequently, like the dashes. Basic uses of parentheses. Use parentheses to set off asides and explanations, asides and explanations only when the material consists of 1 or more sentences, or when the material is not essential, like the examples here. There are many 3- and 5-story wooden pagodas in the Kansai area of Japan. In the distant past, there were even 7- and 9-story pagodas. Despite many powerful earthquakes, parentheses, including the disastrous earthquake of 1995, there are, so as they said, we can use commas here, but parentheses are the strongest separators that a writer can use. Use parentheses to set off numerical explanations, such as dates of a person's birthday and death, and around numbers and letters marking a series, like the example here. Akira Kurosawa, and this is birth date and death date, was an internationally celebrated Japanese filmmaker. The committee can be reached at 6 or 7. So this is a number, and here we have numbers also, and here we have letters marking a series or a list. Other punctuation marks used were with parentheses. Sometimes parentheses and other punctuation marks are used together. Several rules govern these uses. When a phrase or declarative sentence interrupts another sentence, do not use an initial capital or end mark inside the parenthesis. Here, Sarah, she has always loved animals. This is a declarative sentence interrupting the main sentence. So we don't need to capitalize the S here or put an end mark here. She has always loved animals, took in the stray kitten and fed it. So she adopted the stray kitten and fed it. When a question or exclamation interrupts another sentence, here we talked about a declarative sentence. Use both an initial capitalize, and use an end mark. The car, do you think we could be out of gas? Won't start. Okay, so because this is a question, we use a capital D here and a question mark here. On Sunday, what a beautiful day it was. We climbed to the top of da-da-da. So because this is an exclamatory sentence, we put a capital W here and an end mark. But when it's a declarative, don't use a capital letter, don't use an end mark. When a sentence in parentheses falls between 2 other sentences, use the following rule. With any sentence that falls between 2 complete sentences, use both an initial capital and an end mark inside the parentheses. It started working on Saturday morning for a florist. This is a complete sentence with a period at the end here. And we have a new sentence. It was difficult to get up so early. This is a separate sentence. It's preceded and followed by two complete sentences. So we capitalize the first letter and use an end mark. In a sentence with a set of phrases, place any punctuation belonging to the main sentence after the parentheses. When I arrived, about 2 o'clock, he was waiting. Okay, so this is a set of phrase. We place any punctuation belonging to the main sentence after the parentheses. When I arrived, so we put the comma after the parentheses, not before them. When I arrived, we have a set of phrase here, put the comma after it. When I arrived, he was waiting. The artist had finally accepted the invitation to exhibit his works after having been invited twice before. Therefore he, so as you can see, we put the semicolon after the set of phrase here, not before it. Remember this. Let's move into the next point. We have exercise 58. As usual, we'll do the first 3 sentences. The question is, revise the following items, adding parentheses, any other punctuation marks, and capitals where necessary. Underline the words that are in italics. Look at the example. Tickets for the play are hard to get. It is a play I have wanted to see for a long time. We finally were able to get some for next week. Tickets for the play are hard to get. Then we have a separate sentence. It is a play that I have wanted to see for a long time. And then we have a new sentence. We finally, so we put this sentence between 2 parentheses because it falls between 2 complete sentences, if you remember. Number 1, number 2, and 3, we're going to do them. Take your time and put your hands up, please. Add the parentheses, capital letters, or any other punctuation marks you need in number 2, 1, 2, and 3. Waiting for your hands, guys. Waiting for your hands to be raised. And those who have a problem with the mic, please fix the mics. Time. Walid, are you ready? Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman Walid. Where are you, Walid? Okay, Ali Gizi, can you do it? Thank you for fixing your mic, Ali. Can you do number 1, if you can hear me? Alwa? Ali? Walid? Hassan Gouda? Can you do number 1? Hassan Gouda. Guys, what's wrong with you guys? Kiara, can you hear me? Kiara?
Yes, mister.
So what's wrong
Yes.
with the other guys? Can you do number 1, Kiara, or exercise 58, number 1? Can you do it? We need
Okay.
to add parentheses. Okay. The Japanese flag called Hinomaru depicts the rising sun. Do we need any parentheses here?
I think no.
No. Oh, yes, we do need two parentheses, but where to put them? Where to put them? طيب Mariam. Okay, Kiara, thank you. Mariam Naqib,
Yes, Mister.
can you do it?
Number one.
Yes. We need parentheses, but where to put them? It's very easy, guys.
Around Hinamara.
Yeah, Hinamaro and cold. Cold Hinamaro, right? Cold Hinamaro. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So we put two parentheses around cold Hinamaro. Okay, number 2. I'll go to Yahya Awad. Yahya Awad, can you do it, please? Yahya, we need two parentheses. Where to put them?
لا مستر
Okay,
ثانية
no problem. Take your time.
معلش عشان ما كنتش مركز.
No problem.
نمبر كام؟
English, number 2. We need two parentheses. Where to put them?
Before 180 and 1968.
Why? Because these are the birth date and the death date of someone. Yes, when we have the birth date or death date of someone, we put them between parentheses. Thank you, Yahya. Number 3. Number 3, who's ready, guys? Ruhaim, are you ready? Hassan? Guys, where do you go? Type Walid, are you here now? Walid? طب علي? Hassan Gouda? Ruhaim?
Yes, mister.
Ruhaim, where are you? Okay, can you do number 3?
Okay, 1 second.
Where are you following up? انتوا تعبتوا من الحصص النهارده ولا ايه؟ بنادى 4 5 مش موجودين. What's wrong with you؟ ها؟
ايوه حطه في parentheses.
Yeah, we need parentheses. Where to put them? And if there are any other punctuation marks, please tell me.
I think after R, we should put parentheses.
Okay, so we should put two parentheses around letter A and two other ones around letter B and two other ones around letter C, because this is a series or a list, right?
Yes.
So we need to put A, B, and C between two parentheses each. Okay, Hassan,
Yes.
thank you.
Welcome.
Go on sleeping, Hassan. Okay. Let's move on to the next point, brackets. Brackets have one major use, to enclose a word or words inserted by a writer into a quotation from someone else. This is the only or the one or the most major or the major use of the brackets. Use brackets to enclose a word or words you insert in a quotation when you are quoting someone else. Edmund Morris describes an attempt by Theodore Roosevelt to feed his hungry regiment during the Spanish-American War on the morning of June 26th, and the writer adds the year here. This is why he puts this number between two brackets, 1898. Roosevelt got wind of a stockpile of beans on the beach, and he added another thing in Cuba and marched a squad of men hastily down to investigate. So when the writer wants to add something to a quotation, we can use two brackets. Brackets are sometimes also used with the Latin expression sic, meaning thus, in a quotation to show that the original writer misspelled or misused a word or phrase. The expression sick SIC calls attention to the original form used by the author. As a recommendation, he wrote, he don't lie. You know, we say he doesn't, but here the original writer wrote it this way. So we put between brackets the three letters sick. This means this mistake is not mine, it's the original writer's mistake. Maybe he or she made it on purpose, or he doesn't mean it. He don't. This is a grammatical mistake, as you know. Exercise 59. Copy the following, adding brackets where you find them most appropriate. The results of this vote, 92, 98 to indicate overwhelming support for our proposal, he stated. So we put 92, 98, sorry, 2 between two brackets because these numbers were added by the speaker. Who can do number 1, 2, and 3? Exercise 59. Huh? Number 1, 2, and 3. Nobody wants to raise his or her hand? Yasin, can you hear me? Yasin?
Yes, yes.
So why are you lazy today, Yasin? Okay.
Yeah, Allah.
Can you do number 1?
Okay.
Were you following up?
Yes, ثانية. Brackets between أو ثانية.
Take your time.
Between Tokyo.
We have 3 letters which must be Tokyo, yes. Tokyo is misspelled, right? Right?
Yes.
So we put 2 brackets after Tokyo with the 3 letters SIC, right? To show that this is a
Right.
mistake. Okay, so after Tokyo, we should put 2 brackets with the 3 letters SIC. Pay attention to this, guys. Number 2. Who can do number 2? Yusuf Awad, can you hear me? Mr. Yusuf Awad?
Yes.
Are you lazy? Huh? Can you do number 2? Where do we need to put the brackets?
So the brackets are put of words that are necessary, right?
Yeah, but we don't have a series here. I can't hear you well. Okay, we'll put nuclear war because this is added, some words added to the original quotation by the speaker or the writer. Guys, I'll move on to the next part. Hyphens. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Yasin. Hyphens are used to join certain numbers and parts of words, to join some compound words, and to divide words at the ends of lines. Although it resembles the dash, the hyphen is distinctly shorter. In handwritten material, be sure to make your hyphen half as long as your dashes. So when you write, the hyphen should be half the length of the dash. In typewritten material, use 1 hyphen mark for a hyphen and 2 hyphen marks for a dash. So the dash is longer. Hyphens are used with numbers, word parts, and compound words. Hyphens help to make the meaning of compound numbers clear. When we say 27, 28, 31, and so on, like the examples here. Use a hyphen when writing out the numbers 21 to 99. Use a hyphen with Fractions used as adjective. 1/2 inch, 3/5 majority. If a fraction is used as a noun instead of an adjective, the hyphen is not used. Like the example here, 3/4 of the report. Here, 3/4 is not used as an adjective. Be careful to this. When I say Helnan is 5 stars, we don't use a hyphen. But when we say Helnan is a 5-star hotel, we must put a hyphen between 5 and star. Word parts. Certain word parts are also joined by hyphens. Use a hyphen after a prefix that is followed by a proper noun or adjective. Like pro-Japanese, Japanese is a proper adjective, so we use a hyphen here after the prefix pro. All American, mid-October, and so on. Certain prefixes are often found before proper nouns and proper adjectives. They include the following: anti, mid, post, pre, pro, and un. 3 other prefixes and 1 suffix are always used with a hyphen. All powerful, use a hyphen, in words with the prefixes all, ex, and self. All the time, these are used with a hyphen. All powerful, ex-football player, self-adjusting brakes, president, elect, and so on. Compound words, hyphens are also used to join some compound words. Let's see here, brother-in-law, 2-year-olds, secretary, treasurer, jack of all trades. Compound modifiers as well as compound nouns sometimes require hyphens. Okay, guys. Give me a second, please. Okay, the battery is low. So we have some examples here. A strong-willed businessman, an up-to-date is hyphenated, as you can see. Well-attended Japanese festival. The English session is well-attended. Okay, but the attendees leave. We use a hyphen for clarity. Use a hyphen within a word when a combination of letters must otherwise be confusing. A bell-like sound, a semi-invalid, a reserved, bold, and expensive co-op. Use a hyphen between words when necessary for clarity. The new car owner. If we say the new car owner without the hyphen, I mean the new owner. But here I mean the new car, not the new owner. You understand this? The new car owner, here I mean the owner. You noted the difference, right? Copy each item that needs hyphenation, adding hyphens where necessary. We have an example: Japanese speaking guest. We need to do 1, 2, and 3 only quickly. Who can do 1? Who can do number 1, guys? If you know the answer, go ahead. Who can do number 1? Go ahead, Yusuf. This is exercise.
After high.
This is what the number of this exercise, Yusuf?
60.
Yes, after high, thank you. High scoring, after high, huh? Who else? Guys. After pre, after X, right? After little, and so on. Thank you very much. This is the end of the first session.